All right, good evening, everyone. Happy Monday. It's your boy Kevin Thornton. You have tuned in to the world famous Wellness Architect Show. Today is Monday. Today is Monday, and we're gonna have an amazing show tonight. I have my fabulous co-host with me tonight, Miss Val Roche. Roche. Before I throw it to her, I want to say once again, thank you very much for me and Val for all your support. The platform is really growing. We're growing internationally. We're growing in the United States, and so we're truly grateful for that. Two things I want to share is December 2nd. I will have the Minister of Wellness on the show, Mr. Nathaniel Jordan. So those who don't know, he is a health coach, a motivational speaker, and he's really all about wellness. And so if you follow me on Facebook, I have posted some of his videos and his content on my page, so you get to be aware of who he is, what he does, and what he's talking about. So when he on the show, any questions you need to ask about holistic health, diabetes, and all those other illnesses, he's be willing to address those issues for you. So tune in for that. And then on December 16th, we're going to have our men's roundtable discussion. The only female present would be Miss Lotus Riche. It's going to be um, the millennial young men with my generation. We're gonna have a sit down conversation about, the misconceptions that we might have as my generation towards the millennials, and the same they have for us. So we can have a conversation. So then, therefore, we can grow as a unit to become better as a whole. So with that being said, I want to throw it to my fabulous co-host, Val Roche. How you doing, ma'am? How you doing today?
Hey, Kevin, I'm doing great. Awesome to see you as usual.
Thank
Thanks. I'm
you.
so happy to be back on this show. I cannot wait to talk to our guest, Jeff. So I'm going to get right into it,
Okay.
folks. Today, our words are these. Why is self care important? Why does self care matter? Hmm? So, self care. Let's talk about self care. Self care is so critically important because you have to make sure that you're taking good care of your body, your mind, and your soul every day, not just when you're sick. Because what oftentimes happens is when you don't take care of your body on a normal basis, that is what pushes you to that SICK work. It pushes you to be sick. Oftentimes, we work terrible hours at many of these jobs, and we're forced to work. Some of us work 40, 60, 80. Some people I know work 100 hours a week. I know that I have in the past, and people that have worked for me. Unfortunately, we were low on people, and we worked 100 hours in one week, and that is devastating to the body, and it's devastating emotionally. So we have to really make time for ourselves, because the long and short of it is that these jobs are going to be there. If we die today or tomorrow, they will have a new employee coming right in that door to fill our space. Won't be able to take our place, but they'll definitely fill our space. So I'm going to give you 4 ways right quick to help you help yourself. Okay, take care of yourself. The first thing is, make sure that sleep is a part of your self-care regimen. Sleep is very important, because if you get the ample amount of sleep, it'll give your body time to rejuvenate itself. And if you're dealing with any sicknesses that's coming on, it'll help your body to kind of replenish itself so that it can fight off any sickness. So make sure you get your sleep. We can go a lot deeper, but I'll leave that to Erica when she comes back and helps us out. And we're going to talk about that then. Another
Mm-hmm.
thing that you can do to make sure you do great self care is make sure that you exercise every day. Now, Kevin and I talk about getting in exercise, and Kevin's a excellent spin coach. Okay, and he's going to be a spin tour, so you don't want to miss that. But get some exercise, even if it's just simple. Yoga or something like that. It doesn't have to be super vigorous, but get some exercise every day, even if you walk. Okay. Another thing is, make sure you eat right. You definitely have to eat right, because what you put in your body, yes, we are what we eat. And always remember to say yes to yourself. Take time to give yourself a bath. Take time to do things for you that you love and share with yourself if you do mirror work or if you don't. Share with yourself that you love yourself. And that's where it all starts, that self love, taking self care. Okay? So, thank you so much for giving me those few moments to talk about self care and why it's important, and a few ways that you can help with self care with yourself. So, now that I've said that, I get to say something else. Drum roll. Tonight, we are hosting this fabulous guest. His name is Jeff Marconette Jr. Yes, there's a senior, Jeff Marconette Jr. Okay, Jeff Marconette Jr., you guys probably already know, he's the international Make Every Second Count speaker. He is a transformational speaker. He's an author, he's a coach, he's a youth mentor, and he's a walking miracle. And I'll let him tell you all about that when we bring him on. But remember, not only does he the host of the show, he has this show every week. So make sure you visit him. So with nothing else to say further, this is Jeff Marconette. Hey Jeff, welcome to the show.
Hey, thank you, Val.
You
Sorry,
welcome.
would you rather Lotus?
You can call me anything you want, Lotus or Val, but just don't call me late to eat.
All right, I'll call you Val, and I'll call him Kevin.
Yes, sir.
Sounds great.
All right, awesome. So, would you like me just to start with my story?
Yes, please start with your story. Tell us a little bit about you. And we know that you had a near death experience, so we'd like you to share that with us.
All right, cool. So, when it all started when I was 17 years old, I was an avid BMX rider. I would ride my bike every day of the week, every day of the year. It didn't matter if it was rain, snow, or extreme heat. I was out riding my bike. We even did some stupid things on our bikes, and we even would drive like 200 miles on the weekends just to go to bigger cities and skate parks to ride our bikes. Now, you see, I did that every day, and that was a big part of my life. And then came January 7th, 2002. I was on my way to lunch one day from high school because I had open lunch. I was sitting at a red light changing music, and a friend behind me actually honked at me, and I looked up and the light was green, so I went ahead and pulled forward. The only problem was when I did, a semi pulling a tractor trailer decided he wasn't going to stop. He T-boned me in the intersection, so I never made it to Wendy's that day, but I'll come back to that in a little bit. And then from that accident, I was immediately knocked unconscious, and I had a broken neck, which I wore a halo for. I was an angel. And then I had a broken jaw, two fractured ribs, a punctured lung, and a ruptured spleen. I had a tube in through my stomach to help me eat, known as a G tube, a tube in through the side of my chest to reinflate my lung, and a tube in through my neck to help me breathe. And I was actually on a ventilator for a few days. Now, my worst injury was one that nobody else could see, and it's the one that gives me the most trouble and has caused all these issues as I was going through everything I've gone through. And that was a head injury, a traumatic brain injury. And that's what makes me talk a little slower, walk a little funky, and a lot of people think I'm drunk a lot, but I'm not really. I used to be. I had a drinking problem for a while,
Mhm.
but I don't anymore. And honestly, I had the drinking problem because it was easier just to tell people I was drunk than explain everything that had happened. Now,
Yes.
I have been in physical therapy now for over 17 years. And if you have you ever been through physical therapy, Val, or no? Okay.
Yep,
Yes.
yep.
Yes, I have.
I have
And I
to.
And
couldn't walk, so I definitely understand.
what is therapy like?
You know, when I was in therapy, I was overseas and my family wasn't there. And when you're going through therapy, for me, I was having problems walking. One of my legs, my right leg, in fact, is swollen up really bad. And I worked for the hospital at that time, so I had great connections. So I was able to get in and see some great specialists. But unfortunately, they didn't even know what was wrong with me. I was on a cane for like 4 months and I couldn't hardly walk. And it was so daunting, it was depressing. And let me tell you, those were some dark days in my life. And I got to tell you, if it wasn't for some friends of mine, one friend in particular, Angie, who she would keep coming by my house to make sure I was okay. And I would have days where I would stay in the house all day in the darkness. And I'm telling you, the darkness is real. And for people who have suicide ideations, I know what that's like. So when you're dealing with physical situations where you go from playing ball and running and lifting weights and doing just whatever you want to do, and then you can't walk, you can't even drive your own self around, and you need somebody to maybe even help you wipe your own butt. It's such a traumatic thing that occurs. So I can only imagine what you must have gone through.
And how long were you in therapy?
Oh, wow. I was in therapy actually a couple of times because before I went over to Japan, I was in therapy for uh, quite a long time because I was having issues with my back. I was on a walker then; I could barely walk. I was working for the University of Phoenix. I would actually go to my job on a walker, so it was quite a long time. While I was in Japan, I was in therapy from the time that it happened at the new year, at the beginning of the new year, 20, I want to say 2015 or 2016, up until I left. And I left in June of 2016. So I was in therapy for a very long.
For almost a year and a half, right?
Yep.
So, could you imagine that for 17 and a half years?
No, I can't. I couldn't imagine one, how you must have felt. I can't imagine how it would be waking up every day and knowing that uh, you're in this state. The main thing is with me, I was in such excruciating pain that I'd never known. And when someone would touch me to help me, I would scream out loud. I mean, in pain, not telling them to stop, but I would just scream from the pain. So I couldn't imagine that being my reality for 17 years of my life. So that is amazing that you could even deal with that. How about you, Kevin?
I could never even fathom that. I did therapy for like 6 months, and it was painful. Um, but to do, and that was a long 6 months. To do for 17 and a half years, no, I couldn't. I couldn't even see myself doing that. But so that's a testament to you and your strength, your mental and physical strength. So
Thank
kudos.
you.
Uh huh.
But Jeff, I noticed though, even though you went through all that for all those years, I've noticed that over the past several years, you didn't let it stop you. I've seen you in pictures and on various platforms with people like Les Brown. You've been with my main man Eric Thomas and folks of that nature. And then I know you got something going on where you're getting ready to start traveling, helping some school kids. And I see you're in the schools all the time. So I see you didn't let that stop you, and you definitely make every second count.
Yeah, well, like I said, I have been going through therapy for 17 and a half years, and I haven't stopped. I mean, I'm still going to therapy now, these days,
Mhm.
and it's not something I plan on stopping.
Right.
Now, I have slowed down with my therapy because it's cheaper for me just to go to the gym and
Right.
work on the things that I learn in therapy, but go to the gym and work on those things that the therapist teaches me in my own time. And you see, while I still go to the therapist, it's more to learn things that I should be working on. And then I go to the local Anytime Fitness, as you can see right here. And as you can see, I have their tattoo on my arm. I'm really proud of that gym. I love that gym. And the owner is actually one of my good friends, and we hang out and talk a lot. Actually, his girlfriend and I probably talk more than he and his girlfriend, but don't tell him that.
Okay, we won't. We won't tell. Hey, but Jeff, aren't you on a big billboard too? It talks about you being like a trainer or something.
Well, I'm not a trainer.
Hmm.
I am just a client at the gym.
Hmm.
But yeah, they put me on a billboard, and it says something about Jeff has lost 25 pounds and regained his life, but
Hmm.
that's not entirely accurate. But yeah, I am on that billboard, and it has done a lot for me. And no, I haven't let any of my past experiences hold me back from living my life now to the fullest. And
Yes.
you know, I was in a wheelchair for the first while, and they told me when I got in the wheelchair that I could stop this therapy thing anytime.
Hmm.
People lived every day
Hmm.
in a wheelchair and they were happy. I said, eh, I don't know. And then I got to walking with a walker.
Hmm.
They're like, wow, they couldn't believe it. I was actually up and walking. They told me, you can stop this therapy thing anytime. People live every day walking with a walker and they're happy. It's like, I don't know. So I got to the cane and they're like, wow, Jeff, this is amazing. I don't know how you're doing it. And again, told me that I could stop this therapy thing anytime. People lived every day walking with a cane and they were happy. It's like, I don't know. So again, when I was walking, I got to walking with nothing. And again, they told me, you know, you can stop this therapy thing now. You're walking just like everybody else, walking with nothing. I said, I don't know. You see, I decided that I was going to run. It wasn't going to be pretty because my walking isn't pretty, but I was going to do it. There was nobody that could tell me that I had to stop. That was my choice and my choice alone.
Hmm.
And it, it's still my choice to get up every day and go to the gym and get
Yes.
up every day. And go out and have a smile on my face and talk to people. And it's just crazy. The people make life a lot harder than it has to be. And
Wow. So
Wow.
my question is, because I agree with you said,
Yes.
but what would you say? Because you went through a lot and you still have a positive mindset, a positive mind frame, and you still go out there trying to help other people be great. What would
Mm-hmm.
you want to say to people who may not have the same struggle as you, but don't have the same positive mind frame? What would you say to encourage them?
you know, the people think that they don't have a positive mindset. They think that because of outside circumstances that they're doomed, that their life is doomed, that nothing that happens is great. But you see, what you need is inside you. Dr. Wayne Dyer has a talk that he does that a guy was inside playing with his keys, just throwing them up and down. And he he was just doing that for like 10 minutes. And all of a sudden, boom, the lights go out. And it scared him and he threw the keys. And so he got down on the floor and started looking around for him. And he couldn't find him. So he looked outside and noticed the street lights were on. So he had an idea. He was going to go outside and look for his keys because there was no sense in looking inside because there was no lights on. But he went outside, started looking for his keys in the light, and his neighbor came along and says, hey, what are you doing? He said, oh, I'm looking for my keys. He says, oh, well, I'll help you. So they spend like 5 minutes looking around. And the neighbor says, where did you drop your keys? And he said, well, I dropped them inside. And the neighbor's like, so you mean to tell me you dropped them inside and you're out here looking for them? He was confused. And the guy that dropped the keys was like, well, yeah, I wasn't going to look for them inside where it's dark. The lights are all out. I couldn't find them. So I came out here. I noticed the lights were on. So I figured it would be easier to find them with light. How often is it that people look for issues or let issues that exist outside of them affect them?
Yep.
You see, that light might go out inside, but you still control your life. You still control your attitude. You are still in charge of your life. And you can't blame other people for the things like that. My friend Corey Briggs, who is known as the Builder,
Mm-hmm.
has a saying, be great on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
And that's true. Because if you concentrate on being great on purpose, then everything else doesn't matter. I wake up every day and I actually post on Facebook that I am so thankful to be given today and I will make it a great day. And it's like that with me. I know that waking up is a gift that a lot of people aren't going to get.
Yep.
And I need to be thankful for that. And everybody else should be thankful for that. Because you can't have a bad day and be thankful. And that's something that people need to think about. That's why starting a gratitude practice, like just waking up and expressing gratitude for things, or waking up and writing in a gratitude journal, that's why those things will help you, will make your mind where you start looking for the things that you're thankful for. And when you see those things, you will start to be thankful for more things. And then it's a big process. It's a circle of things that you're thankful for. And it's crazy the amount of happiness that that can give you.
Yeah, Jeff, that's so amazing because Kevin and I always talk about trying to start our day off with gratitude, and also we end our days with gratitude. But I thought what you said about Dr. Wayne Dyer was so profound because he's one of my favorites too. He's one of my mentors, and this book I just wanted to share with you guys. This is what came across my mind when Jeff was talking. Excuses be gone. We could come up with all types of excuses, but we've got to tell ourselves excuses be gone because guess what? Like Jeff said, if we are in today, if we woke up, then guess what? We have something to be grateful for.
Mm-hmm.
So, Kevin, I wanted to ask you a quick question, Kevin,
Sure.
because you always talk about gratitude and you always push that forward. What is one thing that you do every day to show your gratitude?
I like Jeff. I have a gratitude journal. So as I do my spiritual routine, part of my routine is to write my gratitude journal, just to be thankful. Like you said, the fact that I wake up every day is a part of my fact that, I'm grateful, and that just tells me that my purpose here on earth is not complete. So it gives me another chance to be a light for the community. So I'm grateful for that, and just try to, you know, continue being the light that we supposed to be. So that's what I usually do. What about yourself?
For me, I always start my day off with gratitude. I'm in a 21-day challenge affirmation where we start off with the power of I am, and
Mm-hmm.
we're giving thanks as well. We're giving our gratitude as to what we're thankful for. Because one thing I learned is that if you're thankful for something you already have,
Mm-hmm.
okay, the universe will open up because you set yourself up on a higher frequency for more of the good stuff.
Right.
So if you're constantly complaining about I don't have this and I don't have that, guess what? The universe is just like a genie. The law of attraction tells us about this. The universe will give you more of the same because you're actually putting out a command into the universe.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and like oftentimes you hear me say, we have to be careful what we attach to our I am, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Because I am is the word of God. So if we say that we are broke, if we say that we're not good enough, if we say that no one loves us, then the universe is going to turn around and give us more of the same. But guess what? Just like you guys said, when we talk about what we're thankful for, I'm thankful for life, I'm thankful for excellent health, I'm thankful for the viewers that come and join us every Monday from
Mm-hmm.
7 to 9 p.m. and then talk to us thereafter for the viewers for making suggestions. I'm happy that I can walk, okay? I'm happy that I can talk. I'm telling you, the idea of gratitude is definitely the right attitude. And I wanted to also touch bases, Kevin, with Jeff on the foundational youth program that he's
Mm-hmm.
doing. And I know he talks to his students about um, being grateful and things of that nature. And I think, Kevin, you work closely with a lot of the young people within the community as well. And I think you're getting ready to do some stuff overseas as well with the
Yes.
youth. So wanted to touch bases on those programs for a minute, if we may.
Sure. Go ahead,
Yeah.
Jeff.
No, you go ahead. Tell why you're going overseas.
You put you out there, Kev.
Well, we got a couple opportunities to go overseas. You know, Lotus and I uh, plan on going overseas probably twice next year.
Hmm.
Once probably around Easter to go to Ghana to work with people there and do some coaching and some health coaching. Um, they want to also talk to me about what I do. And then I think in August, I had a guest on the show who does some stuff with the youth out in Africa, and um, we connected very well with him. So he wanted me and Lotus to go out there with him as well to do some work with with the youth there in Africa to inspire and educate them to be the best version of themselves. So, you know, it's a great time for us right now. So I'm truly grateful for that.
Yeah, that's amazing, man. So I actually started this program, Foundational Youth, because I the way I believe every person starts out with a weak foundation in life, a weak foundation to their life. And you don't build a house on a weak foundation, because if you do, it'll shift and it'll just start cracking and falling down. And the sad fact is, suicide is now the second leading cause of death for adolescents 15 to 19 years of age. And I wanted to do my part. I wanted to try to curb that some. So I started Foundational Youth. Now in Foundational Youth, we work an hour a day for 8 days. So Monday through Thursday for 2 weeks. Now, we do this in the Anytime Fitness in Piqua, Ohio. And we, for half of the time in the program, so for the first half hour of the day, we work on mindset training, and we work on things like goals, setting goals. Um, sorry, I'm trying to think. And then we develop some I am statements with them, and then we work on gratitude, and I explain about my car accident and walking when they told me that I might never walk again. And then we also just work on expressing our gratitude, and I have them keep a gratitude journal for those 2 weeks. And I really have noticed something pretty big with that. And then I got the idea that I would have them work with a licensed personal trainer for 30 minutes, because dopamine is released in the brain, which is known as the body's natural reward system. And that would reinforce the gratitude, the I am statements, the goals, and the other things, and it would make them more likely to continue doing those things. So I don't know. I'm hoping that it's really working. I've heard from parents that it really helps their kid, but I don't know. So I'm really proud of that, though.
Awesome.
You should be.
Awesome. Awesome. Because there are a lot of kids out there that need love and someone just to show that they do care and that their life is worthwhile. I remember when I worked in Augusta, I worked with the youth. I worked for a counseling firm, and it's amazing how children will respond to you when they feel that you care, that you just take the time, even taking them into like Macy's and places like that. I would take them in there and help them with their interpersonal skills, helping them to relate to people when they go out and they're in the public and they're trying to purchase something at the store, and also teaching them proper etiquette while they were out. And it really changes their life. So, the parents told you it's making a difference. So I believe the parents, I believe that it's making a difference.
Well, I hope so.
Yeah. And a lot of times, I got to tell you, a lot of times you make a difference in a person's life, and you never know it right off. I had a gentleman when I worked at the University of Phoenix. Uh, he would come to class, and he was working hard, um, but sometimes he would be so tired, and I would just encourage him. He would say, "Miss Lotus, I don't want to come to school tomorrow," and I would tell him, "No, you're closer now than you've ever been. God bless you." And um, several years later, I saw him at a hair salon that I was at. A friend of mine's owned his hair salon. I went by there. He came up and he hugged me and he said, "You know what? I never told you this, but I want to tell you, you were the reason that I finished my degree." And I had no idea. So you never know, Jeff, how you're going to impact these folks. So I say, keep it going, because we definitely need that. And I know that you got a empowerment tour going on, and you got some physical therapy, Herbalife going on, and some personal growth programs going on. So can you tell us a little bit about the tour that you're going to be
Well, I am actually working with you and, and on that empowerment tour, and we are working on going to schools, and there's four of us right now that are involved in this project: Jeannie McGarthy, Val Ritchie, and Terry Moore, and myself, Jeff Marconette Jr., and we are all on the same page that we want to help the youth. We want to make it where they are more empowered in their life, and that we take suicide off the table. We don't even let suicide remain on that table, because we don't want that to be an option for anyone. And we're not all about going out to make money. We're looking for investors and people to help us go out and educate and just add value to these kids' lives, to the students' lives. So if you're interested in investing, let Lotus or Val know, because she's awesome like that. And I think that we can make a difference.
Well,
I think that people's lives will change by hearing our stories, by hearing that we care about them, that they are important, that they are loved. They just need to hear that.
hmm
Yes.
I
And
do.
Kevin, what was that? It was 2016, right? When I came back, I did a
hmm
show with Kevin, and Kevin was so gracious, as he always is. We were doing a suicide intervention campaign. Myself, Sheandra Hardy, Jessica Frazier, we were on, and a plethora of other folks. Mike, he was on with us, and Kevin, he just hosted the show. He was phenomenal, and Kevin does a lot of work to help make sure people who are dealing with suicidal ideations, make sure that he helps to take that off the table. So Kevin, can you tell folks a little bit about what the show was like when we did the suicide intervention show, and the part that you played in it, and
Wow,
what your take is?
that was very powerful show. I remember that vividly. I still have everybody's business card in my wallet from that day. It was very powerful that the stories that you three ladies was giving about suicide and the stuff people was going through, and how you guys were one looking to be vessels to help people who are going through that tough time and challenge. And the feedback that I received was like extraordinary at that time because I just didn't really realize that so many people was in that much pain, and that that show really helped them out a lot. So to hear you guys saying that y'all gonna do a empowerment tour and that's the focus of it, that's really good because it's really needed. So kudos to all four of you guys that's gonna do this. However, I can support you, I will do that. You know, so just let me know what I need to do, what can I do to help you guys out.
Awesome.
Thank you, sir.
Definitely, yeah, like Jeff was saying, you can contact me, but definitely contact Kevin. He has a number on there. Definitely give him a call and let him know if you have somebody that needs our help. Because as you know, Kevin is a life coach and he's phenomenal, and he can really seed into your life to help you if you have a adult or a child who has some concerns with
Yeah, it's
suicidality.
well. First of all, I say thank you. I appreciate that. Uh, it's crazy that you said that. It's because um, I've been receiving a lot of people lately, especially a lot of men lately, who's at the point where they want to get coached. Um, they want to find that healing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's gonna. I tell them it's gonna be a hard journey because they have to be able to surrender, um, and allow themselves to be vulnerable and not worry that I or anybody's going to judge them. And I think that's the number one question, not even for the men, but even for the youth, because they're the youth, the kids nowadays are so mean.
Yes.
So they are so concerned about being judged that they don't allow themselves to really feel or let themselves to feel how they really feel, what's going on with
Right.
them.
Right. Right.
So, we need you guys to go out there and be the soldiers out there to help out with this youth. So I'm really proud of you guys.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
I want
I
to say
do
something
have.
right quick. I'm so sorry. I want to say something right quick. Tracy R. Kincaid, she is the author of When Warriors Talk, God Listens. Jeff, she loves you. Okay,
Yeah.
she sent that over to me. And Steph White, thank you so much. We appreciate you. Daisy, we appreciate you. And a plethora of others. We'll call your name out shortly, but I wanted to tell you that. So, and she's
Well,
aware of what we're about to do too. When she's an author, she beat cancer, and her and four other authors wrote that book. So, and she loves Jeff.
yeah. Well, I love her too. She's an amazing lady, and she's actually been a guest on my show,
Mhm.
and it's just amazing the amount of people that have been a guest on my show, the caliber of people that have been a guest on my show. I have been doing my show, which is entitled "Make Every Second Count" live with Jeff Marconette Jr. I do it on Facebook every Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, and we just try to help get people that are dealing with things through those things, because there's like nobody in this world that is going through something that somebody else hasn't gone through.
Yes.
And you see, I know something about people, and I'm willing to guess this is correct for Kevin and Val at the same time. Now, I bet you have never gone through anything that you didn't live through.
Got that right.
You are exactly right.
So, but it's crazy. I just have people on my show, and they tell a little bit about themselves, like where they're from, what they do, and why they do what they do. and then we talk about what obstacles they've gone through in their life and ways they got past those obstacles. And then we see if they have any additional information to offer other people that are dealing with things. And those things might not be the same, but many things, the things that work for one thing will work for many things.
Yes.
And
Yes.
it's just important to be there for people and show them that you care.
Yes. Yes. That's true. I concur with that.
I do too.
Yeah.
Unequivocally. Unequivocally. So let me tell you a little bit about my story with Jeff. So Jeff was on a friend's page, Donna Carlock. She's a phenomenal realtor in Douglasville, Georgia. She has a page called Get It in 10. And if you haven't seen it, go to Facebook, go to Get It in 10. A lot of wonderful folks there bringing inspirational messages. And Jeff was on the show. And I think when Jeff was on the show, he was interviewing a young kid who had been being bullied. And I got to tell you, just the love that Jeff showed in sharing his story, it had me in tears because can you imagine how kids today are dealing with bullying? Because bullying now is at an all-time high. I mean, I was bullied when I was a kid, okay? But I could fight too. So I learned how to fight and protect myself and call my sister to help me and, my cousins. If you fought one of us, you had to fight us all. But, it's terrifying when you're in school and your heart's racing all day because somebody has told you at 3 o'clock, I'm going to bust you in the eye. It's just terrifying for kids to have to live through that day in and day out. And Jeff, you did such a phenomenal job with bringing this young man's story to us. And that's where I saw you. And I was like, oh, I love this guy, Jeff. I've got to contact him.
And so let me
Yeah.
piggyback off of that. So when she found Jeff, she reached out to me and she said that we had to have him on the show. So she texted me Jeff's name, and I instantly knew who he was because I was already Facebook friends with him.
Hmm.
We had met a few years ago at a speakers workshop here in Atlanta. He came to Atlanta. It was hosted by Dr. Ruben West, who is was trained by Les Brown, and that's where I initially met him. That's how I initially met his story, heard his story, and so a lot of people he speak on, like Corey Briggs. I met all those guys as well and females as well, and I was just taken aback about his story, and and his positivity. So whatever. So anytime I go through anything. So when I went through my hardship, I got bit by the spider. I thought about him because he went through something that's far worse than what I was going through. Even though they were saying I could possibly lose my leg, he almost lost his life. And so if he was able to still remain positive, it kept me positive the whole time I was in the hospital as well. So if it's how I looked at it is that what I was going through is part of my life lesson. But each day I knew I was alive, I was still grateful. So when I was at the hospital, even though I'm in the hospital fighting for myself, I still was grateful. I was still positive because I woke up the next morning. So it was funny because when the chaplain came to me and asked me, do she need me to pray for me? And I said, no, pretty much I'm good. I said, I thank you though. And the nurse was there and they was like, they listened to me talk and they was like, how can you be so positive when you almost lost your leg? Your kidneys is not acting right now, but yeah, everything's a smile on your face. Please and thank you. And I said, I woke up this morning. So if I woke up this morning, my life is now over. So I'm grateful for that, and I know my purpose is not done. So without knowing that, I just kept on being grateful. So the lady asked me, she said, well, what do you do? And I said, I'm a life coach. And so she was like, now I understand why, because your mindset is trained to think, for the positive and not the negative.
Yeah.
And so, she asked, could she come back and talk to me again? I said, if you come back and talk to me again, I'm going to have to charge you. And so,
Kevin, I I'm I kind of can identify with Jeff because when I was in the military years ago, I was in a terrible car accident. Uh, young sailors, we were out in Virginia, had gone up to meet some folks and stay over the weekend. Had driven up from Charleston where I was stationed, and we all went out. The guys were in the front seat, the ladies we were in the back seat, and um, Johnny was driving, and we did something that my mother told me never to do. She said never fall asleep when someone else is driving.
Yeah.
But I fell asleep. I fell asleep, and the next thing I heard from the girl Michelle to my right, she was screaming, "Johnny, Johnny, wake up, wake up, wake up!" But the car was swerving and doing this, and I heard my mother's voice said, "Never go to sleep. Someone's driving," and it was like nothing but the hand of God came over my eyes and closed my eyes, and I could feel my body just go limp. And at that time, the car started flipping. Okay, we was in the Hyundai. Okay, you guys know them Hyundais back in the 90s weren't made very well, but we were in this Hyundai and we flipped over 3 times and we were on I-95. And I got to tell you, when the car stopped, it was upside down. You could see flames, and I tell you, prayer works because we tried to kick the window out. It wouldn't come out. And I prayed right there, and I said, in the name of Jesus, I put my hands on the window, and I kid you not, we were able to get out of that vehicle. And when the police came, um, uh, they said to us that they were in pursuit of somebody, and they were doing about 90 miles per hour down the highway. And had they hit us, they would have killed us. And luckily, when we were upside down, we were in the median, where the grasses were. We were right there, and I walked away from that accident, Jeff and Kevin, with like carpet burns on my face, from being upside down, and But the girl next to me, and now let me say this: I didn't have on a seatbelt. I
wow.
didn't have a seatbelt on because my mother's friend years ago, his wife had a car accident. She had her seatbelt on, and the seatbelt punctured her kidney. So since that time, I was like, I'm not wearing no seatbelt, right? So I wouldn't wear a seatbelt. I didn't have a seatbelt. I was sitting in the middle, so I could have been catapulted out of the front window. But by the grace of God, I wasn't. But the girl next to me, Michelle, had a broken arm. So I can understand the scariness of being in an accident. I can understand when you're really, really hurt, but also having the grace and mercy of God to be able to walk away and live another day and to get to where you've come, Jeff, is amazing. And even you, Kevin, to have been bit by that spider, I mean, and your kidneys were shutting down. That's just amazing. So, wow, I just feel so honored to be on the platform with you guys tonight because we are all definitely miracles.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
So, Jeff, what's the what's the name of the movement you said, Lotus, you was telling me about that he has?
Oh, make every second count?
Yeah. So what's the? I know it's part of your radio show, your TV, your Facebook Live show, but what else is included with that movement?
Well, the movement started by just my mindset. The fact that you have to make every 86,400 seconds in a day count. That you don't have to make each one count, but you have to make that day count. And you see, every day I wake up is a great day. And it doesn't matter what happens in that day. As long as I'm alive and if you die, that's not a great day. But as long as I'm alive, it's a great day. And nothing can make it any worse than great. And it's funny. I see people out all the time, and they have a frown on their face, or they just don't say thank you when I hold a door open for them. And I'm like, how can you do that? Why is it that your day is so bad when you're still alive? And that's very very big to me. And so I have started this group on Facebook called Make Every Second Live, or Make Every Second Count Movement. And I it's just it's just daily inspiration and daily posts by me, by other people in the same field that I'm in, that they just post in there, and I invite everyone to join that group. I invite whoever wants to invite other people to that group. That's fine. I share every episode of mine in that group. I share every motivational thought, every inspirational thought, every transformational thought that I have in that group, because it's just a part of me to try to help other people, because I had so many people that helped me when I was in dire need of help and laying in the hospital bed. You see, my parents never left me alone in that hospital. I was in the hospital 3.5 months. My dad would come down during the week, so Monday through Friday, and he would stay all day and all night. And then he would go home at night on the weekends. But my mom would come down and spend all day and night on the weekends with me. And then my mom would come down after work during the week. And she had to keep working because her work had the insurance that kept me in that hospital. And my dad was a realtor. So he set his own schedule. He just told him, hey, I'm not coming in for a while. I'll be back, deuces. And that really meant a lot to me. I had a lot of friends and other family members, such as aunts, uncles, cousins, that came in and stayed with me. My sister and my brother both came in and stayed with me. In fact, my brother got kicked out of high school because he didn't leave the hospital for like the first week. He slept on the concrete floor in trauma right outside my room to make sure I was going to be all right. And I'm just trying to support other people because so many people supported me. I'm paying it forward.
Wow.
Jeff, I wanted to say this right quick, Kevin. Um, One thing that I love that we all do, uh, from being grateful, we also help. And back in August, Jeff put a post on his page, and the post said, "It's by Ingersoll, it's by Robert Ingersoll," and it said, "We by lifting others." And that's basically what what you're doing, Jeff. You are lifting others. And Kevin, you're lifting others. I am lifting others. And I got to tell you, that's where make every second count comes from. And my saying is, you know, uh, we are bringing inspiration to the nation. And I help people ignite and take flight, because it's starting a fire on the inside and taking off. And Kevin, what's your slogan? What do you say?
I say, be great on purpose, unapologetically.
Say that.
So yeah, because we
Say that
don't
again.
be great on purpose, unapologetically.
I love that.
So I feel like we don't need to be apologetic for being the best version of ourselves. You know, I think a lot of times we scared to be our best selves, and because we scared we might make other people feel uncomfortable, and that's not our space or our place. Our place is just in space to be our best self, unapologetically. Don't ask for permission, just be it. So that's my slogan.
Awesome.
Great, man.
Well, thank you, thank you.
Yeah.
So what's next for you, sir?
Well, next, I'm not. I have. Sorry, kind of busy here, but I have a workbook that I just compiled. Well, I just got my part in that book written, and that is sent off to a lady who is compiling it for me, and she actually writes curriculum for the city of Atlanta, and then that is going to be published. I'm going to just publish it by Amazon, and it's just going to be a workbook, and I am going to start to use that workbook in my foundational youth program. I'm also writing my own entire book, which will be like 8 or 9 chapters. I'm not sure yet. I've started on one chapter, and it is weird because I think I need to combine it with another chapter. I'll figure it out. But my workbook should be about 150 pages, and it is a 9 week, so 1,500 hour journal, and it goes over things that we cover in foundational youth. It goes over the goal setting, the gratitude, the I am statements or affirmations, and it goes on and on and on and on. And I'm just wanting to help people, help kids in life set up that solid foundation. So the bullying, the deaths and families, the whatever they're dealing with doesn't affect them because they have a strong enough foundation that it's not going to break them. That I'd let all these things chip away at their walls, but they're not going to collapse because they're built on a strong foundation. It's crazy. And then I am also working on getting a training program together, which I'm working with Dr. Ruben West on. And then I am working on some traveling to other countries, and I'm hoping that this all pans out because it's kind of up in the air right now. But it would it would take me to like Africa and possibly Europe and South America again, where I've been once. And I'm just excited for what the future holds, because I know that it holds so much for everyone. And that everybody out there has the same potential that I have, that Val has, that Kevin has. We all have that potential in us. We just have to find it and harness it and let it out. It's not, life is not as hard as we make it. It's, I don't even know that people are capable of so much more than they think and that they feel and that they are doing right now, that they could be living the life of their dreams, living their best life, and stop just living willy-nilly. Stop playing video games all day. Stop watching TV all day. Stop eating all day. Stop doing all these things all day. Do them, but do them in moderation.
I love it. Val, what you think?
Great. I forget who it was the other day. I was talking to them, and she was saying that a lot of people are not living, they're existing.
Exactly.
And that's basically what Jeff is trying to tell us not to do. Don't just exist. Live your life to the fullest, because guess what? You get one of these.
Yeah,
One of these in the body that you're in, you get one of these. So you have to make every second count. Out of those 86,400 seconds in a day, how many of these seconds do you take to be grateful and to aspire to do great things? And earlier, Jeff said on his post, he always says, make it a great day. And I love when he says that, because I don't believe in good days. I believe in great days, because when something's good, it's almost comparing it to a spaghetti that I recently had. It was good. It was good, but it wasn't great. Okay, my mom's spaghetti was great. And that's one thing that you hear in Dr. Wayne Dyer. You hear it with Les Brown and so many others. They say you have greatness inside of you. They don't say you have goodness inside of you, because we all have a level of goodness inside of us. But to take it up to the next level, to go beyond good, we have to understand that there is greatness inside of us. And that's what Jeff is kind of pulling us into, to understand that we all have a level of greatness. It doesn't matter if you're in a wheelchair. It doesn't matter if you're on a crutches. It doesn't matter even if you have a drinking problem right now, because you can overcome it, because you really have greatness inside of you. And I wanted to, while I can, Quanacia Brown, she said, yes, we need to take care of ourselves. And she also said, wow, this is wonderful and great. And then we have a remark from Angela, self-care is so underrated and easily neglected. We need a holistic approach. What are holistic ways of self-care? So I'm going to pose those two questions to Kevin and Jeff. What are holistic ways for self-care that our guests can utilize?
Oh, it's a lot of different things you could do. I'm I'm big on massages. That helps, get your body together, but also relaxes you. Um, I'm starting to get into yoga and meditation, because that's a way of self care, because it allows you to relax and stretch your body out, but also get in tune with your spirit. Um, for me, exercising, that's my way to zone out and release any tension that I may have. So those are things that I like to do. That's more like holistic type of stuff. Jeff, what about you?
Well, I would have to refer back to my program, and and that is doing a gratitude practice, setting goals, performing affirmations or I am statements, making sure you're talking to yourself in the right way.
Mm-hmm.
Eliminate the words can't.
Mm-hmm.
Eliminate the words I'll try.
Mm-hmm.
Eliminate the word that's impossible because impossible means nothing but I am possible. And you see, I have been getting into binaural beats lately, and
Yes.
I've been listening to them as I go to bed and as I work on my book, and they actually help me.
Yes.
I have an app that has all these different binaural beats that like sleep, deep sleep, lucid dreaming, chanting, intelligence, and then focus, study aid, and something else that goes along with those. But it's so cool. It I can just zone in on one thing, and it's just like hypnosis. I get hypnotized into that music, and I pay so much more attention to the things that are in front of me, the things that really matter.
I love it. Um, I want to circle back to both of you guys and to your empowerment tour. So
Mhm.
when do you guys plan on doing that, and how many different cities and or schools you plan on trying to go to?
Ooh,
Go
that's a
ahead,
great
Matt.
question. So right now it's in the works. Like he said, we're working with two other people right now. We may have one more coming on board, who is also a magnificent life coach and motivator and things of that nature. Right now, it's in the works. We're trickling down on dates because one of our group members is actually on tour now.
Mm-hmm.
She just flew into, I want to say, New York this past weekend. So she's on tour. So we're going to wait till she comes off tour before
She's
we
in
start
Toronto.
another tour. That's right. She's in Toronto, Canada now, and they're doing wonderful work with helping people with suicidality and things of that nature as well. So we don't have a date yet because it's still in the works, but definitely when we get our date, we'll let you know. And we're trying to go to a myriad of different schools. I was on the phone this afternoon or I was online with Jacqueline down in Lithonia, Georgia,
Mm-hmm.
and she's going to be helping us out, talk with the superintendent and principal there where her children go to school because she felt like our program would be great to bring to Lithonia, Georgia. So if anybody's out there, you need us to come to your school, let us know. Please talk to your principal, your superintendent, somebody who can give the nod, someone who can say yes, and they can reach out to us, and we'll be delighted to give them our packet to let them know what our platform is, what the cost might be. Like Jeff said, we're not in it to make huge amounts of money, but we have to think of travel costs and things of that nature. So those are things that would definitely have to be covered. But I'm telling you, it's going to be so explosive, and we are looking for a couple of surprises. So there may be some speakers right from your area that may be joining us as our guests to come in for that day to help uh, with what's going on at the various schools. So,
Yeah,
and we're not just talking about grammar schools and elementary schools, we're also going to universities. Right now, I'm in communication with one of the largest historically black universities in the nation, and I'm working on something right now, but we can't let them back right now. But we'll keep you posted.
yeah,
So,
and we need to find people that are in charge in schools in Hawaii because I definitely want to get to Hawaii and Alaska because those are two of my bucket list states.
I like that.
And Kevin, I know you're an entrepreneur, you have your own business, and I know you stay busy, but we sure would love to have you hook up with us maybe at one of the schools in Atlanta if you have time. What do you think about that, Jeff?
Sounds great to me.
Well, I would be honored, especially the fact that someone from Lithonia reached out to you, 'cause that's where I live at currently right now. So that would be great for me.
Awesome.
I would love to do
Awesome.
that. And I also, I read your text. I don't know if it was the text or the message on Facebook about me coming to Baltimore to do that spin class. So
Yes.
that's the goal. I would be. We gonna have to sit down probably Thursday if that's good for you. That
Yes.
to talk about all that. So we can start working on that for 2020. That's something I do want to do. Um, and
Well, hold up, Kevin. I gotta say this right quick. Gotta say this, Jeff. You don't know about this yet, but let me tell you. We had a show. We had Sharon Jackson Little on the show. She is a phenomenal lady. She came on. She used to work for NASA, and of course, when companies downsize, what happens? We get pink slips. So she got a pink slip. She reinvented herself, and she was battling diabetes. And she began to work on her body and became phenomenal with spinning, and she sits in a spin class. And the owner of, I think it's called Spin City in Baltimore,
mhm,
he kind of came on the show and gave us some kudos, but he talked tremendously about uh, her her recreation of herself, and now she's in the best health of her life. And the fun thing is that we talked about doing a spin tour.
mhm.
Now, Jeff, I don't know if you know this, but Kev is like the man when it comes to being a spin instructor. We had people come on the show that night and was like, "Yeah, he's the best." Blah blah blah. You know, people that know him that have sat in his spin classes. So we are going to be doing a spin tour. So Jeff, look out for us where you're at. Let your folks know that we're coming there, and we want you definitely to be a part of it when we're doing the spin tour.
Well, I'm down,
All right.
Thank you, thank you.
especially if you go to Hawaii or Alaska.
Awesome. Awesome. I got friends in Hawaii. I work with a friend who is from Alaska, so I'll have to call her. She's over in Sasebo, Japan. I'll have to call her and see if she knows anybody, and I'll have to tell her Jeff wants to come to Alaska or go to Alaska. Can you pull some strings for us? And we'll see what we can do.
Yeah, that would be amazing. But I, I wanted to kind of take a second here and explain to people that there are always gonna be haters in life. There are always gonna be your bullies in life. There are always going to be people telling you that you can't do things, that they tried it and it didn't work for them, so it's definitely not going to work for you, and not supporting you. But let me tell you one thing, I support you. You do not have to believe any of those people. That what you have inside of you is, put your hand right here and feel that. Do you feel it?
Yeah,
Do you know what that is?
your heart.
No, it's not your heart. It's your greatness.
All right, I
And
like
it's
that.
and it's trying to get out. But it needs your permission to get out. See, we all have it. It's all right here. We just need to let it out, let it shine. But a lot of us are afraid to do that because other people, other haters, other bullies have told us that that's not possible. Well, I'm telling you right now that it's possible. And I know it because people told me that I wasn't going to walk. People told me that I wasn't going to be able to ever run. People told me that I might never talk again. But I refused to listen. I said, no, get out of my way, because I'm doing it. And that's what you guys need to do. Life is not going to wait around for you. You have to take it. And it's just so important that you guys realize that you're in control of your life, and that I, and that Val, and that Kevin, we all believe in you. We wouldn't be out here putting ourselves out here and doing these things that take time if we didn't believe in people. It's crazy that you guys aren't going for your dreams, because dreams don't exist only in here. Dreams exist out here. You just have to find them.
Well said, sir. Well said. You got anything to follow that amazing speech, Val?
You know, that's our why. And our why is most important. And I remember Mr. Albin talked about your why has to be strong enough to move to tears. And when Jeff expressed our why, it moved me to tears. A tear came out of my eye because a lot of people don't feel that they have anyone to believe in them. But just like Jeff said, we wouldn't be out here. We wouldn't be doing this if we didn't believe in people. In you, the viewer, the people that come here Monday, day in and day out, you get in from work, you stress, you late, whatever. You make time to come and join us. You wouldn't be here, and we wouldn't be here. And I remember years ago, I wouldn't put my face out here. I wouldn't come on Facebook because I'm a private person.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? It's not the knowledge that I hold inside that makes me powerful. And it's not like Oprah Winfrey was talking about Miss Maya Angelou, and she said, oh, the school in Africa, that's gonna be my legacy. And Maya Angelou said to her, you have no idea. And she was right. We have no idea what our legacy is, but we do know this, that each and every listener, somebody that sees our post, somebody that sees our face, you guys are our legacy, and we are your legacy because we learn from you, from your questions. We learn from you, from your answers that you give to us. So I'm so thankful, Jeff, that you shared what you shared, because that's 100%. That's 100%.
I'm grateful too. I'm grateful too. But it's funny, Val, as you said that you and I are doing this together now because
Yes.
3 years ago when this happened for me, this is not even in my plan. Like you,
Yeah.
I'm very private. You know, I don't do so when they talk about a radio show, that was far from the truth for what about me, because I didn't want everybody all up in my face and my business, all that kind of stuff. But I knew it was bigger than me at that time. That so I had to surrender to that and just go ahead and be step outside my comfort zone and do what I have to do. And and then a year or two later, I meet you, and
Yes.
we make this connection, and then we go our ways because life happens, and we
Yes.
reconnect, and then when we reconnect, it's coming right back to it how it's supposed to be. And initially, I had someone in mind for the year beginning of 2019 to be like my co-host, and she never followed through. I think she wasn't ready yet. So when I reconnected with you and you came on the show and did it, I was like, okay, let's just do it like this. You could do the show with me, so that way we could take it to greater heights,
True.
and everything. So, it's funny that you said that because now we two similar people going on this journey together, and so you just know anything's possible, and so just be grateful, just grateful for the journey. So, what you said, Jeff, is amazing. I'm truly grateful to have met you in person, but also truly grateful to have you on the show. Tell everybody how they can follow you, how they can watch your show on Tuesdays, and all that good stuff.
Well, that's pretty easy. All right. So, my name on Facebook, on Instagram, on LinkedIn is Jeff Marconette Jr. So that is JEFFMARCONETTE Jr. And you have to put Junior because if you don't, I don't know who you'll get. You might get my dad, and he's not all positive like me, but I love my dad. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, he's not me. But I don't have Twitter. I don't even mess with that junk. And you can follow my group on Facebook, which is called the Make or is called Make Every Second Count Movement. And then I share my episodes in there. I share them on my page. I share them in like 23 plus groups. I don't know. I just share them everywhere. I'm a shareholder. What can I say? But it's just important for me to get my story out there, and it's important for other people to hear my story, I think, because it can change somebody's perception of life. And life is perception. It's the way you look at things is the way your life is going to go.
Yep.
All right, and
So,
go for it.
Val, you were
Yes.
talking earlier about we thrive on people asking us questions.
Mm-hmm.
So, are there any questions?
Okay, I'm trying to look at my stuff, and person that's usually like right by my side handing me stuff, they're actually tied up doing something else for me tonight. But I didn't see any questions on my page, other than the remarks that came earlier. Kevin, do you have anything?
No, they pretty much everything that I had is the same thing you had.
They probably are very blown away, Jeff, because what you said was very profound, very moving.
It
And,
is.
it really, in my opinion, will make people ask themselves, what is their why? And
Hmm.
why do they not just exist, but why do they live?
You
Absolutely.
know, I also forgot to mention that I am on YouTube as well, and
Awesome.
that is Jeff Marconette Jr. as well. I bet you can't believe that.
So
But
Val,
Jeff Mark,
what's your parting words for this evening?
what? I'm sorry.
What Val, what's your parting words for this evening?
Thank you. Gratitude. Gratitude is the best attitude. You can reach me right here every Monday from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time from the Kevin Wellness Architect Show, where I, Lotus Riche, is his esteemed co-host. You can reach me by 1-800-593-9733. You can hit my Facebook page, my Instagram, and my YouTube. My YouTube, we're doing some work on my YouTube, but we're going to be blasting out some videos, and you will see Kevin, and you will see Jeff on my YouTube coming up. So you can hit me on all of those platforms under Lotus Riche Ignites. Okay, and the last thing I want to share with you is this. We talked about self care and how important self care is. And we talked about affirmations, and Jeff talked about being grateful and doing affirmations. So I want to leave you with this. And this is coming from uh, Mr. Joel Osteen from his book, The Power of I Am. I am blessed. Blessings pursue. I am talented. Talent follow. I am healthy. Health heads your way. I am strong. Strength tracks you down. Remember that every day in every way, you're getting better and better. And if you want to send out a positive frequency, it starts with what you say out of your mouth. So that's what I've got for you, and we can't wait to see you get back here.
And my for me, you can follow me on Facebook at Kevin Thornton. Also, my business page, which is the Wellness Architect. On Instagram, it's at the Wellness Architect, and also on Twitter, it's Mr. Kevin Thornton, and it's Kevin Thornton on LinkedIn. Um, my parting words is to say thank you. I'm completely grateful for uh, you all following and listening to our show. The growth of the show this past year, for us going international, and the opportunities for us to go international and do some stuff um, in Africa. My goal, hopefully for Lotus and I for 2020, is to go to Japan. I would like to go to Australia to do some work. So if that's I'm putting it out there so if the universe can make that so for us, because if we don't ask for it, we can't receive it. With that being said, I just want everybody to be great. Know that the greatness is in you. Don't ask for permission to be great. Just do it unapologetically. And with that being said, good night. See you next week. Peace out.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.